Alright, as promised, more testing on the steam injection. Today we're using the boiler to create steam. We're going to push it into one of these element ports down here. We're doing this without a steam wand today to see what it does. So we've got our pot filled with nothing. Okay, we got our pot filled with nothing.
Yeah, so far.
Oh, okay.
Do some photos, then we'll
All right, pot's filled with nothing, so we are going to go ahead and fill it up just enough to cover right here, and then once it starts violently pushing steam through, then we know we're good to go ahead and fill the pot the rest of the way. We'll check back in a little bit. All right, so we got the still filled up and capped off. She's pushing steam. It was about 9:45. We'll see how long it takes to heat up and what happens. We'll check back. All right, now it's 9:45, or excuse me, 10:45, so an hour later. This thing is at a rolling boil. Almost 170 on the cap. Should start pushing down into the thumper real soon, and we'll be running probably in 15-20 minutes. All right, guys, so we are now producing. It took us almost maybe an hour and a half or so, but we are producing. And it's been another successful test. Again, I shut the door because you couldn't really see as well earlier, so now you guys can see a little better. But again, all we did was we filled the boiler with water, plugged our electric element into the boiler here to heat up this water to turn it into a steam. Steam travels up here and down into one of these little 2-inch tri-clamp ports down here that we use usually for an electric port. We do not have a steam wand or a steam pipe in this port. It is just an open port, so that steam just travels down and shoots in right there. You can also get, a steam pipe or a steam wand that sticks a little bit further into like the middle of your still. That helps the steam to kind of travel further into the still before it discharges into the still. Probably be a little bit more efficient. We'll definitely test that next. But yeah, I mean, just like this, it works great, guys. So yeah, about an hour and a half heat up time. It's 25 gallon still with maybe 22, 23 gallons in it. 8-gallon boiler. Would like it for it to be maybe a 10 or 12 gallon boiler because this will run out of water before we are totally through our tails, through the finishing part of our run. But yeah, works great. Just remember, key things to remember here. You want to crank your boiler on before you fill your still. Let it start pushing steam violently through there before you fill that thing up. The other consideration, guys, drains. You want big drains on this thing, or some way to get that mash back out, all those solids back out. There's another video where I talked about some creative ways you could do that if all you've got is an element port or whatever. But yeah, another successful test. Rock and roll, y'all shine on. Have a great Thanksgiving.